I wonder if they like twisting the knife a little bit. They're like, what if the other guy has a huge dick? And you're like, wait, what? What the fuck is that guy doing?
All right, this is going to be a good one because Min had a good video about what to do in this situation. The third biggest lottery jackpot was just awarded in Illinois. Wow. 1.34 billion.
Whoa! Whoa! A billion?
Oh, Billy.
That's not even funny anymore. That's just ridiculous.
How much do they get to leave with after taxes?
Well, it's going to be split between two people because two people won it.
How the fuck they get the same number?
Hey, that means each person's only gonna take home like a quarter billion, 250 or something like that.
Are they both in Illinois or only one?
Yeah, they're both in Illinois.
Dude, it's rigged. Both of them are in Illinois.
Do they got state taxes like we do, or no? Do they only have to pay federal?
They got federal, state.
They have federal and state.
Yeah. So if you take a lump sum right now, you get less than if you do it over 30 years. But the thing is, in 30 years, if they keep raising taxes, it gets diminished anyway. So you either pay as much.
Always go for the lump. Always go for the lump.
Go for that lump, baby.
As if I've won the lottery.
4 billion. Yeah.
Would you tell anybody? I think that's the biggest thing is like not to tell anybody.
Oh yeah, they definitely did that thing where like, so I don't know if it's the same in Illinois, but I know it is in California. If you win the lotto and you don't want anyone to know that it was you, you have to give up some of that money to buy that anonymity.
Sons of bitch.
What the fuck?
How much?
I don't know. I really don't know what it is.
It's worth it, but God,
if you have a big family, yes.
The fucking lotto mafia.
But that's probably the first good thing to spend that money on.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're splitting the money. They chose to do the lump sum. It says they're choosing the lump sum payment. I don't know if this is correct. 780 million each.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the right math?
Well, 1.3. That's almost like 700 million each.
Yeah.
And then after taxes, you're probably
780 million each. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably walking with 700, so probably like 300.
Hey, not bad still, right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
They take 400 from you? God damn!
When you do the lump sum, they take more than just the tax.
Way more, yeah. But then that's better because if you do the payments, then you know they're not gonna send an assassin to kill you and cut the payments short.
True.
So what was it that you said? You had a thing on your socials about what you would do, and it was pretty fucking smart. Because yours was really good. It was mainly about not paying tax on pretty much the money that you earn.
Yeah, so I would go out there first, like get a lawyer first, and then take that money and find a way to put it into more properties. And then when you put in the property, put it in the trust. Where if you put in enough trust, pretty much you're not paying taxes on the gain.
Yeah.
If you're in the trust, or if you put it into your retirement, you don't have to pay taxes on the gain.
So it's about capital gains and trying to.
What if are you so like do they give you the check first and then they're subject to tax after, or is it like a paycheck where they remove the tax first and then they give you the remainder?
That I don't know, but I'd rather just have them take the tax on the spot.
Yeah.
You know.
I think they take the tax out and then they give you the remainder.
Do they give you one of those big ass checks?
I hope so.
Right?
These kinds?
Like trying to be anonymous and like walking into the bank.
Because I'm wondering if so like if like let's say I own the Red Cross, that's my organization.
Nice.
What if I won the lotto and I go, I'm gonna take the whole thing and just donate it? Then would they be able to
But
tax
then you
that?
up your salary?
Oh, but they know that you are the Red Cross, so you're donating to something you own.
Exactly. So like, cause you know when you make earnings, right? But if you give it all away, they can't tax you on that.
To a nonprofit?
Yeah. Cause it's like you didn't take any of that.
Well, I think they're already taking the taxes out when they give you the money, though.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
So you were saying that it's better to, let's say you got all that money, rather than put it in stocks and those stocks do well, you have to pay capital gains. If you put it in real estate, what happens if the properties go up in value that you
If they go up in value, you just sit on it unless you want to transfer the property out. So if you're just sitting on the property and it's gaining equity, you're not really paying tax on the equity. And then you keep transitioning up and up and up. And then, of course, if you do want to sell it, you sell off a portion and you can slow down how you get taxed on that money, too. So there's all different ways with real estate because of the way it's... So the state of the United States is built on tax law. You know, tax laws are built on real estate and being an entrepreneur.
Right.
So if you can either pay less tax or slow down the way you get pay taxes.
And there's a bunch of ways to do that if you put it in property.
Correct. You can't do it in day trading. You can't do it in any business because you're gonna have to unless you completely wipe it all out, and then you get audited. So the safest way where you're not going to get audited is to keep flipping it in real estate.
And that's mainly because the government gives you tax incentives for real estate, because in that sector, right, the government is being measured in their success and growth of the economy by things like real estate. They want to give tax breaks to people to buy land or buy property or to build property, because that shows that their growth as a country, as a nation, or as an economy is getting better. So they're giving you tax benefits, which end up making people want to roll their money into things like those sectors.
So let's say you come across 300 million. Let's say this was you. What would you do with that money?
Split it with JK.
Yep. Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
So I would buy as much real estate as I can, and then make sure I do the math on depreciation and cost segregation. So when I collect the rent money, I don't have to pay any taxes on that rent money.
You'll stick to residential?
Commercial because you can stretch out the depreciation.
You get malls and stuff.
But let's ask the hard questions. Let's say you don't pay for the anonymity. What do you say to all the aunties and uncles and cousins?
Yeah, dude.
'Cause that's the real shit that nobody prepares you for.
Man, I got school loans, man.
I'd break off everybody. I would do it.
Oh, that's
You're supposed
cool.
to be an Asian coming here, like, you know what? Before I die, let me wipe it out for
That's
everybody.
tight. That's
Everyone gets a fresh start.
But you know, a lot of people that come back after and they're dumb too. You give them like 10 G's for a car or whatever. I fucked up, man. Fucking smoke crack gone now.
You buy them a property under their name, and then you put in a trust where like they can't sell the property, but the rental income keeps going back to them, and then just fork out the depreciation to where like when they receive that rent, it's the depreciation and cost segregation already washes the rent money.
Can you explain, like, for the idiots that don't understand what a trust is?
Yeah, not us.
Yeah. Yeah, tell them what the trust is.
So
What is that? Yeah,
It's trust is like another vehicle. Instead of like you owning it directly, it's owned by another entity. It's like a vault that no one can touch.
Okay.
And then you also can make the rules in the trust where you can assign it to somebody, or it can almost live forever.
Live forever.
Live forever. So let's say you have a trust.
Like, it go to your great-great-great-grandson. The trust will keep going.
If you want it to keep going. If you're like, hey, you can't, it's an irrevocable trust. Like, hey, let's say you have that crackhead cousin or uncle that you buy that property, you put in the trust. Hey, they're always going to receive money, but if you pass away, they can't. Oh, the property's mine now. It
change the
keeps
rules
living,
on it.
and they can go. And then
They can ruin your whole like legacy
Correct.
and sell it all for crack.
Yes,
But then with the trust, it protects.
the crack.
I
For
see.
the crack.
Yeah. So, what are the tax benefits of like making that kind of a move, like trust?
I'm not a tax person, so I'm not supposed to give you like exact direction on what to do.
there are benefits,
There
right?
are benefits. So, first, I think when you receive some sort of money, you have to decide, okay, what do you want to get taxed on and what you don't want to get taxed on. So, depending on the business, let's say you receive money as a business, if you want to avoid tax on it, you got to do something with it right away. And then that's when you decide, okay, if I have all these businesses, how do I put them in LLCs? Do I put these LLCs in trusts? You got to kind of juggle it around. But if you keep juggling it around enough, which a lot of people do, you start deteriorating your actual income. That's why you see these guys from, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
None of them own anything. They own nothing in their name. It's all owned under LLCs that are put in trust. That's like, so it's like a juggling act to pretty much diminish your income, and you're just living off of loans.
Oh, got it.
But your but your trust and your LLC, like, it's worth so much. Like, Bank of America's gonna break you off and loan you the money.
Right, but you're only paying taxes on the stuff that's in your name.
Correct.
Oh, Jackpot, huh? So after all these time that trusts have been around, there's no way to like work around that. Let's say like somebody left you a trust and they died. There's absolutely no way for you to kind of skirt around and get all of it.
Depends if it's a revocable or irrevocable living trust.
Oh.
So if you're the person like, oh, I know he's a crackhead. There's no way I'm doing a irrevocable living trust. Or revocable living trust.
Damn, those things are really bulletproof, huh?
Irrevocable means like you can't change any rules. So when you made the rules, but all of a sudden you get older and you become senile, and people start coming up to you like, all right, I'll give this to you. If it's irrevocable, there's nothing they can do.
I would have thought by now some rich kid would have figured out a crazy ass loophole to get it around.
But that's the thing with like wills and like trusts and stuff. They're set so that the whole like point of it is in your best state of mind. You are agreeing to this contract so that in a lesser state of mind, you don't go back and change things.
And you can create different stipulations too. Like, it's like, this will go to my son if he gets a college degree, this and
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
it will
yeah.
go to my daughter if she becomes a doctor or whatever.
Otherwise, it'll all be donated to this cause.
Yep.
Wow.
People could do that. Like, there's like many steps that you can.
Because
put.
people could be like let's say, oh, this fool has hella money. Like, hey, go back in there and change your fucking living trust, you know? But then he can't. It's like, it's irrevocable. I literally can't change it anymore.
And does it normally cost a lot of money to have a trust exist?
You go on fucking LegalZoom, bro.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'd probably go to someone and just pay like the 20. Right now, we have one for my son. We pay $2,500. And then we got it done. But when you go get a trust with a spouse, do they ask you some fucked up questions?
like what?
Like if you die, who your kid's gonna live with? Everyone's fighting
Oh,
over
and then
your
you really
kid.
gotta like hit
or
reality,
or if you die and your wife remarries, does that kid get any of the money in the trust? And you're like, nah, hell no. Like there's some uncomfortable things that they want.
'Cause that's really what happens, yeah.
They ask like, who's gonna get your kid?
They're all desensitized to it too. They see this shit all the time.
Oh, the worst is like, because I think like when you have, husband and wife, everyone thinks their kid should go live with their side of the family. That's when it gets like awkwardly quiet. You know, things that you don't think about. Like if you go get a trust, go see a counselor or go get marital therapy first before you go, because they're gonna ask you some things that
shit
you
can break
never.
you
I
up.
wonder if they're like twisting the knife a little bit. They're like, what if the other guy has a huge dick? And you're like, wait, what? What the fuck is that guy doing?
It was even like the very first time we LLC'd up Kinjas,
Yeah.
right? I remember me, Michael, and sitting with the lawyer and stuff like that. And then they had never like LLC'd like a dance group. So the closest thing they could do was show us an example of an operating agreement for a rock band, where all the different members like kind of like have some sort of equity or entity in this like larger brand of a group that's built on people, right? And so all the questionnaires and stuff, it's kind of like just like a rock band. It's like, all right, if this person like decides to leave the group, but you're like super naive in that first state of mind when you're starting a business, so you're just like, why would anybody leave? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it just asks you and puts you in this position of like real life situations that have already happened. It's like this person leaves, decides to sue you, and blah 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 blah. Like, and you're just kind of like. Met with this reality of what actually happens, and suddenly you have to make like these grown-ass decisions that you've never had to face before. You know what I mean?
That's good that you made it so no one's allowed to leave.
That's why you gotta get your papers right away. You know, especially I think it's hard when there's no money in the picture yet. Oh, everyone's like, dude, we're gonna split it all. Oh yeah, and then eventually money starts trickling in. Like, didn't I just do more work for this motherfucker? He just flew in, and then I got to do everything, and now I got to split the shit.
That's some amateur shit, though. In the very beginning, everybody fights over this stupid little
That's my shit.
Dude, that's just life in general. That's every fucking organization, right? Things change, people change, work changes, scale changes.
Fucking terrible idea. It's completely stupid. But it's fun in the beginning.
And then later you learn.
Yeah.
It's legendary in the
You
beginning.
learn the difference between businesses and homie shit.
Yeah.